Jeremy Aliadier on co-commentary duty. Jeremy will be racing down to be taking some of your tweets along with Johnny and with Nick, but I'm going to bring Josh James in for a few minutes here to get his thoughts on what's been an excellent game of football, certainly. And everyone talked about whether Arsenal are good enough to compete in the Premier League, a run of fixtures that were very kind, allegedly, after those first 2 games of the campaign. We've proved it today, haven't we?
Yeah, that was the first big test in that unbeaten run, if you like. We'd gone 13 games without a defeat, but lots of people were saying, oh, actually, we shouldn't have lost any of those games anyway. And today, going behind as well against this Liverpool team, to come back in that manner and to get a draw, I think it's a great lift for this team.
It was amazing. I thought at the start of the game, a lot of the Arsenal supporters seemed a little bit nervous. The atmosphere wasn't as I expected it for this game. It was as if even the Arsenal fans wondered whether this team was going to be good enough. But it soon seemed apparent to me, and although Liverpool did well in the first half, but over the course of the first half an hour, it seemed apparent to me that, you know, this was a game that we shouldn't be afraid of.
No, absolutely. I think you look at Liverpool's forward threats, and we've seen it at close hand, haven't we? I think it's the last 5 games we played against them. They scored at least 3 goals each time. So we knew we were going to be wary of them, and they started the season fantastically. But there was maybe a 10-minute spell in the first half. They hit the post, we had one cleared off the line where they were on top. But apart from that, Arsenal gave as good as they gave, if not were on top for most of that first half. And it was just a disappointment that we couldn't go in leading, wasn't it, at half-time?
Lots of standout performance for me. We may as well talk about Alex Lacazette because his goal was utterly sensational. I don't think he was the best player on the pitch for Arsenal, but that's what he can do. Yeah,
and there was maybe a few eyebrows raised when the boss took off Aubameyang when we were looking for a goal. He left Lacazette on the pitch, and yeah, exactly. He looked like he'd taken it too wide, taking it around the goalkeeper, but that finish was sensational. And big players come up at big moments. That's when you need them to pull something out of the fire, pull something out of the bag, and that's what he did. That's why he was on the pitch.
2 standouts for me. Lucas Torreira, the first of them, he was sensational throughout the game.
Yeah, the crowd love him, don't they? I mean, what I thought was interesting in the first half is discipline. He knows where to be on the pitch. We know all about the pace that Liverpool have got up front, and that's what's torn us apart before, let's be honest. At Anfield, when they beat us 4-0, here when they beat us 4-3, even the 3-0 last year, when they get the ball, when they break, that's when they're dangerous. We need players to be in the right position to stop those counter-attacks. And that's what he did time and again, in the first half especially. But not only that, he wins the ball, he looks up and he plays the pass as well. He's energetic, he's all-round, he's wholehearted. He's everything you want from a midfielder.
And finally, before we hand back to the Arsenal Nation boys, a word on defensively, you know, the collective defensive. I thought Mustafi was excellent. Yep. I thought Bellerin was very good. I know Leno is going to be criticised for the goal, but I thought the back four, even Kolasinac, a little bit ring rusty here and there, but generally, centre halves in particular, Bellerin were terrific today.
Yeah, and remember that both Bellerin and Kolasinac especially have been out injured for a while, so it's their first game back. I was surprised to see them both play 90 minutes actually, and at the end, I think they were a little bit... actually, Kolasinac went off, didn't he, towards the end?
Yeah, looked like he was
he looked like he was limping off. But, yeah, the 4 of them, and the more that they play with Leno, yeah, maybe for the goal, we were a few question marks about Leno and the one in the first half that he dropped as well. But they're getting better game by game, and that's what you want to see, improvement. We knew it wouldn't be overnight success. It's a new goalkeeper coming into a new league. He's getting better and better each game. That's all we can ask.
Josh, many thanks. Josh James, who's on match report duty. You can see his work, of course, on Arsenal.com. All the reaction, of course, to the game via the website. And more reaction now from Arsenal Nation Live as we hand you back to Johnny, Jeremy, and, of course, Nick Bright. All yours.
Thanks very much, Dan. So, 1 apiece is how it ended. Wow, what a game. Of course, Johnny Cochran is still with me in the Arsenal Nation Live studio. Jeremy Aliadier has made it down from the commentary position in record time. And guys, wow. That's one word for it, wow.
Look, first of all, people were worried whether Arsenal were getting gassed before. The fact that we were going on this long unbeaten run, and had we, you know, played a big team, well, I'm on gas mark 5 right now, OK? Because I tell you what, we're looking like the real deal, and it's on. Donkey Kong time. Let's go. Laka stepped up. Big goal. People were talking about 5-0, 6-0. None of it ever happened. 1-1. We're in it. We're in it. I am not saying we're proper targeted, because we don't want to put pressure on ourselves, but we can do anyone. We can do anyone. Really good.
Johnny's confident. Jeremy, you were out there watching it in the commentary position. What did you make of it?
Very impressed. Very impressed. First half, second half even better. Concede a goal, had the team spirit, the fighting spirit to get back in the game, and could have maybe win it. You know, at the end, you always think, "Oh, could we have won the game?" And overall, we could have won the game. So it's very positive, yeah.
I think we saw the trend, didn't we, of Arsenal growing into the game as it went on. Like you said in commentary, though, we didn't start really poorly or anything like we have been in recent games. But it was just like, I think the fitness training that Unai Emery's been doing has like really, it's really proven to come fruitful in matches like today.
Yeah, it's definitely showing its dividends. Like, I think Jeremy's made a really good point there as well. What is so encouraging now, as an Arsenal fan watching these games, it's the fight that we're showing, because we are not being perfect through these games. That was not just a masterclass there, it wasn't. There were problems there. There were certain players who could look at themselves and think, I could do a bit better. No one had a bad game, but there's room for improvement. But the way in which we battle for each other nowadays, and we don't go hiding, and we don't concede a goal and think, right, that's it, game over. There's bottle in this team now. There is bottle, people. We're coming for top 4. 100% we're coming for top 4.
It's funny you say that the gap is closing between us and Liverpool. People are talking about it. Hello to Promise Official, who says, regardless of the result, it's obvious that despite having the better players, the gap between Liverpool and Arsenal is small, and critics and analysts have been harsh on Arsenal. I think that's fair to say. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody, as you touched on, Johnny, everyone was writing Arsenal off ahead of this game, right?
I'm hearing people talking about 3-0, 4-0, 5-0.
And we're at home as well. Let's not forget that.
Exactly. I mean, disrespect. And now what you're saying. Because I tell you what, they could have got beat today, Liverpool out there, easily by us. We've had some big chances. Now, what I would honestly say, as to speak objectively, I don't think I think a draw was a fair result, basically. I don't feel like we got cheated. I don't feel like they got cheated. It was a quite even game. But just for us to show, even at home, that we can hack it with the big boys now, and it's not necessarily going to scare Liverpool, who can continue to put out results. It's not necessarily going to scare Man City. But when you look at Tottenham, who are struggling for confidence and are struggling to get that top 4, Man United, who are life and death with Bournemouth, you know what I mean? We are looking like we are the real deal in here, and I think top 4. And we've got to look, as top 4, we have to take it now. We've got to take it from this point.
It's definitely a possibility now. And Jeremy, obviously the run continues now, the unbeaten run, which surely breeds more confidence.
Massively, massively. We were talking before about 13 unbeaten game, but without really playing one of the big team now we have, and we're still unbeaten, and that's 14 game now. So I'm sure from that game, the boys will be like buzzing and really confident to carry on and pushing on, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's too... Go on.
I mean, the thing is, Nick, we have got... The reason why... We didn't know what was going to happen today, but the reason why this is such a great result for us, we now head into our most difficult spell of the season, barring the first 2 games, which at this stage just look like a bit of a freebie, in all honesty. We've got Tottenham coming up twice. We've got United coming up. And if we had lost today, anything other than a mauling anyway... it's not like our season's going to be over or anything, but we can now go into those games and go, Liverpool and Tottenham, Liverpool are better than Tottenham and United, and we drew with them. We've got games coming up where we can go into against Tottenham and go, we've got to win this game. Go in against United, we've got to win that as well. Like, we can expect to, because we are now performing at the level that we as fans would expect Arsenal to be back. And it's ahead of time for my money. I didn't know Emery was going to work it that quick, but that hypnotism at half-time, this is what I'm talking about.
He mentioned the hypnotism, and it works, but we have to touch on a few things that people have been saying. Hello to Mohammed, who says, never seen Arsenal so robust and strong in each and every challenge. Emery really has made a big difference. Daniel says, whatever the outcome in the second half, just remember that this is Unai Emery's 11th competitive league match in the Premiership. Hello to Flora as well, saying Arsenal defending for their lives. It's nice to see. Lots of positive comments coming in for the team, but also for the manager. And it feels so different. One of the things that I've spoken to a lot of my Arsenal supporting mates about is it feels so different this season than last season, right?
It's. Do you know what? I've got to say it as well. First of all, I can't get the smile off my face. Smirk, it's not even a smile.
And it's only a draw as well, so, you know, the fact you're so happy and we drew, you know.
But this is what it means to be a fan. We don't get to play out there and, you know, score the goals ourselves, but it's nice to be able to go there. And do you know what? It's one of them where it's not even a smile, it's just a smirk. It's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, we done it. Now, the thing is I just want to pull out one thing that happened in that half as well, which I love. When the goal went in, you see the passion that Emery starts celebrating with. He's got a vibe going around this place. He's got just a feeling, an air about this place, which I haven't felt for a long time, and I am absolutely on cloud nine. I'm just loving it right now. I really am. I'm nearly welling up, to be honest. I don't need to do that.
Well, hang on, let's bring it back down to earth, because Leno had a great first half. You know, we were talking about the amount of saves and, you know, catches and punches that he came out for. But he had a bit of a tricky hand in the goal, it's worth saying, the Liverpool goal. Here, we've got a tweet here saying, error of judgment from Leno. Come on, Arsenal. Another one here from Hussein saying, Arsenal players rallying up, telling each other to stay calm and keep their heads after they've just conceded. Lovely to see. Almost like what you just said there, Johnny. The Leno thing, do you think it's his fault? Do you think it's an error, or do you think it's just one of those footballing things, Jeremy?
I think it is an error, because obviously he should have punched the ball further up or grabbed the ball and get it. Unfortunately, he touched Holding's heel after, and that's what kind of gave the ball to Milner, which is an error, but it's unlucky for him that he ended up being a costing error when, you know, if Holding didn't touch that ball, we were probably not concede that goal. So it's kind of, you know, a bit of
one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah.
Does he have to touch it though? Do you think Salah's getting there, or is he getting himself involved in a situation that really,
It's hard to say, because I put myself in his position, and he thinks that the ball, if he doesn't touch it, the ball's going to Salah and it's a tap in. So he's got to do something about it. But looking at the replay, it's always easier looking at the replay, mate.
Yeah,
you know,
right. You wish you had those when you were playing.
Oh man, I'll be the top scorer if I had. But he's just like, you watch the replay and you think, oh, if he doesn't touch it, then probably Mustafi, I think he's right behind there, just clear the ball, and then we're just not in that situation. But it's just, you know, you've got not even a second to make a decision, and unfortunately, it didn't go in our favour.
Can I ask you one question as well? Because we
Go on, make it quick.
Just a quick one, Nick.
Go on.
Now, you played in a different Arsenal team, different Arsenal generation. What one player out of this team, because I'm just interested, would you take from this team and stick into the teams that you were playing with?
From what I've seen so far, I'll take Torreira all day long.
I thought he was going to say that.
I'll take him all day long. What I've seen from this guy is just actually remind me of the team I used to play in, yeah.
Wow, the big boys.
Yeah.
Torreira's top quality as well. So good. Another player who is absolutely smashing it at the moment. Johnny will be happy about this, because we're going to get the thoughts of Rob Holding.
Yeah, it's a competitive league. City, Chelsea, Liverpool are flying starts, and we're right on their tails, and just got to keep ticking away with the points, and we never know what can happen further on in the season.
Finally now, the fighting spirit was really evident then out there today. Can you feel that in the group, that you guys are really together and are really committed?
Yeah, definitely. There's a really good team chemistry with everyone, and the winning mentality. We're not losing. We'll keep fighting till the end, and I think we've had a few sort of late goals to just win the games, and we just never give up, keep going, and we'll get what we deserve.
Thank you, brother.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. You got to sign a programme for...
The thoughts of Rob Holding there. Had a good game today, didn't he, Johnny?
Bobby is a natural leader. He's a very talented defender as well. I like his aggression. I like the way that he guides himself through a game these days. And this is a kind of maturity that I think Emery has helped instill into him with the organisation. When you're a young defender, you need to be told what to do. It doesn't mean that you're rubbish as a defender if you need guidance. It means, if anything, that you are at times a better defender, because you just need to know what system you're playing to. If you just run out there as a defender, probably more so than an attacker, because attackers, sometimes you can just feel, you know, you're a bit more creative, just see how it goes, you know. Defenders need to know how they're working. I think this organisation that Emery's brought in has helped him probably as much as any defender. We look at the way that Bellerin's benefited from the new setup as well, and in terms of the way that he's playing better. But I think Bobby Holding is a starter for us nowadays. I don't want to see him out the team. I think I've said it before on record. I think he's a future England player, and I just really like the cut of his jib, quite frankly.
There you go, the cut of his jib. You heard it here
I think the partnership as well with Mustafi, the fact that they've been playing together now for a while, you can see that's massive. You know, as a centre back, you always like to play with the same guy next to you and learn how to complement each other and to just, you know, you can see how every time Mustafi goes for the challenge, you know, Holding's there to cover and then vice versa. So it's really good to see, yeah.
It's a little bit like the early days of Mertesacker and Koscielny when they started playing together, you know, because Mertesacker wasn't the fastest. He would kind of mop up behind and stuff like that. But I think it's fair to say something that a lot of people were talking about online were the substitutions today, because Unai Emery loves to make substitutions. Even on his birthday, an Arsenal legend, Ian Wright, WTF when the substitution happened there.
I don't know what that means.
A few other people getting involved as well. Peter saying interesting substitution of Ramsey for Aubameyang. I understand Ramsey coming on. Not sure what the reason was for taking Auba off. Joe says people the first time Unai has baffed me with a sub. Auba off for Ramsey when we need a goal. So there's a few people. There were a few people unhappy about that, but it proved the right decision in the end, Jeremy.
It did, yeah. And I was the first one sighing up there when I saw Aubameyang coming off. I was like, we need a goal there. I think, you know, any goal scorer, you would want them on the pitch right now. But look, Iwobi came on and then he's the one giving the ball to Lacazette. I think he's done great when he came on. And, you know, once again, I was a bit not too sure about the substitution of Ramsey, but at the end he proved that it was the right one to do, I guess.
And we gave him some love at the top of the show, actually. Alexander Iwobi, he is something else this season. He's looking so good.
He's looking like the real deal Holyfield. The guy needs. I think he should be starting. I like what Iwobi does these days in terms of how he manages a game. He doesn't come in and panic. There was a ball he played across the field. One of the worst passes you will ever see. I guarantee you that Johnny Cochran right here could play that pass. Okay, it was dreadful. But what didn't happen after he played that pass, nice and early, is his head didn't go down. He said, right, give me the ball the next time. He beats his man. He's driving to the byline. Balls are fizzing across. There was one where Mesut Ozil was coming in the back post. I hoped he would get there. He didn't quite get there. Iwobi now looks like a leader, which is just absolutely... You know, it's night and day. He's evolved like Pokemon. He's at his next stage. He's coming on and he is absolutely saying, I'm getting us back into it, rather than looking around. Do you remember that scared look he used to have a little bit more? I'm not even knocking him, but he's a younger player, a bit of a scared look, like, if it's not going my way, who am I looking to? Now he's coming on like, I'm getting us back into this. It's very, very serious, his form. I really, really like what I'm seeing from Iwobi. I've got a lot of time for him. And I think that the people that are knocking Emery's decision-making, just wait to the end of the game, guys, because the guy is getting it right more than he's getting it wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's been excellent.
Yeah, and speaking of excellent, I want to get your thoughts on this, Jeremy. Lacazette's goal, sensational. Look at some of the tweets that are coming in. Super finish by Lacazette and a great ball by Iwobi. Iwobi, the game changer. Brilliant finish from Lacazette, 1-1. I'm guessing there were so many on Twitter and everything. Hello to Room to Live. Give the man a knighthood. Fantastic finish. Just all sorts of things coming in, including the Nigeria Supporters Club. Look at this. Look at this, the Arsenal Nigeria.
Awesome.
Arsenal Nigeria absolutely going. They went so crazy that it turned to thanks for watching on here. But they went crazy when the goal went. It was a fantastic finish, wasn't it, Jeremy?
Incredible finish. What I'm surprised of is how he took the shot from there, because I expected him to try to find somebody to tap it in, but he just took his responsibilities. You can see a player that is full of confidence, that he gets on with all the players around him, everything like is just going right for him. Just talk it, because from where he is, the angle's quite tight. You know?
I mean, did you expect it? Because obviously you're forward. So
I didn't. I thought, when I saw him taking that ball and passing the goalkeeper, getting back on his right foot, I thought he's just going to look for a pass there to see if somebody's free to tap it in. never expected him to, to bend in the top corner. Well, not corner, but in the, side net like this. I didn't expect him to, to take the shot. So full of confidence. Yeah. What can you say, man?
Amazing
it's just,
finish. And Johnny over here was in the media room just over. It's just behind us where we are in the Arsenal Nation live studio. And I walked out there and he was giving a run through of commentary because they don't have the sound on in there. And he was just in there waxing lyrical about the goal.
Just explaining what had happened. Look, I mean, it was great. It's tough when we do this. Okay. We can't pretend that we're not all fans of Arsenal. We're obviously reporting on the game, but we were all talking like, we've got to go in there after I know we put up a good fight, but if we hadn't have got back to that draw, it would have been like a little disappointing, So they give us stuff to talk about. They make us excited about what the chances are for this team and how the team can respond to adversity. And I think that finish, Lacazette, I think can frustrate sometimes, because sometimes you think, oh, he could do this, he could do that. But in big moments, he has that ability. That's a world-class finish. There is no question about it. To find, to not panic for a start is a big thing. That takes class. And then to just not panic, but then have that technique where, if you look at it, it was like Neo in the Matrix. The ball goes through, the keeper's diving, there's a player flying around, it goes through the one spot where you can't get to it, and it's in the back of the net. And Liverpool were on the rocks to the end of the game. So
he gets such power behind these shots as well with so little backlift. It's amazing to see. And
curve and
it's just a great striker of the ball. And this continues the momentum, doesn't it? 13 on the bounce now, isn't it? Undefeated.
Is it 13 or 14?
13 or 14. Yeah. One of the numbers. It's up high.
Double digits. Yeah.
Hopefully this will continue on Thursday against Sporting and beyond.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, the Europa for me, it's important to maintain the run anyway. We don't want to be, I don't expect to be losing at home to Sporting anyway. I think we're a better team than them, better club, full stop. But in general, the league is what is providing me with a lot of excitement right now, because I fully expect to progress through our Europa group. We've basically done it already, and it's good to see young players getting chances. Emil Smith-Rowe, let's get him out here. More goals, more confidence. But in the league, that's what could get away from us if we don't stay on top of it very soon. We've got big games coming up, and we can't just go on a 4-game losing spree. Otherwise, suddenly, the feeling's a completely different one. Yeah. Big result today. We can head into, we can look forward to games against Tottenham and United with the utmost confidence and a feeling that, quite frankly, I think we can do them both.
Yeah, for sure.
Confidence.
Listen, the hardest thing is always when you're at the top and you've got a run like this, the hardest thing is the next game. So now, great game today, played really well, but next game is the most important thing now, So they'll all be happy with what they've done today, but straight away, season doesn't end today, so it's still a lot of games to play and they want to keep that run going. So
let's kick on from here. Before I let you guys go and celebrate it was a draw, but it's a great draw considering loads of people were writing us off. I've got to get a one-word sign-off from you both. Just one word. This game in a word. I'll go to you first, Johnny.
I'm going with fantastic.
Fantastic. Jeremy.
Togetherness.
Togetherness, that's a good one.
Much more poetic than mine.
That's
shows my vocabulary.
English and French right there. Perfect metaphor. Right, thank you very much, guys. Cheers for coming on Arsenal Nation as always. Jeremy Aladier and also to Johnny Cochran. Remember, we are back on Thursday for Arsenal Nation Live, Sporting Lisbon in the Europa League. And we're going to sign off with the Arsenal Nigeria celebrations. Enjoy.